Hello students, here we will discuss 40 questions, MCQs, case-based and assertion-reason type from chapter number 9, Biomolecules. Question number 1, glucose is a monosaccharide carbohydrate compound consisting of 6 carbon atoms and an aldehyde group. So, it is referred to as aldohexose. So, correct option is C. It is a aldose hexose sugar. Question 2. Lactose molecule is composed of. Lactose is a disaccharide formed by combination of glucose and galactose. So, mark D as a correct answer. Question 3. Which group contains all polysaccharides? Polysaccharides are long chains of monosaccharides, and out of given 4 options, all polysaccharides are given in option D. These are glycogen, cellulose and starch. So, mark D as a correct answer. Question 4. A nucleoside is formed of. Nucleosides are formed by the combination of nitrogen base, which can be adenine, guanine, cytosine, thymine and uracil, with pentose sugar, or you can say a sugar containing 5 carbon atoms, which may be ribose or deoxyribose. So, mark D as a correct answer. A nucleoside is formed of pentose sugar and nitrogen base. Question number 5. Maximum amount of iron occurs in, as iron is the part of hemoglobin which is present in erythrocytes or red blood cells and help in oxygen transport. So, correct option is D. Erythrocytes contain maximum amount of iron. So, mark D. Question 6. Calcium is required for. It is required for all. For option A, blood clotting. For option B, bone formation. And for option C, muscle contraction. So, mark D option, all of these as correct answer. Question 7. Which of the following organic compounds is acid soluble fraction but molecular weights do not exceed 800 Dalton? The molecules in the insoluble fraction are polymeric substances except lipids, even though the molecular weight of lipids do not exceed 800 Dalton. Other components, proteins, nucleic acid and polysaccharides have molecular weight equal to or more than 10,000 Daltons. So, here correct answer is D. Lipids, mark D. Question 8. The amino acids which are not synthesized in our body are. The amino acids which cannot be synthesized in our body and we require them in our diet are called essential amino acids. So, correct answer is C. Mark C. Next, questions from question number 9 to 13 are case based. Study the graph given which is showing the concept of activation energy and then answer the given questions. Question number 9. In the graph, what is denoted by X and Y? In the graph, X is showing the activation energy in the presence of enzyme and Y is showing activation energy in the absence of enzymes, which means enzymes lower the activation energy required for the reaction to take place. So, correct answer is B. Mark B. Question number 10. Read the given statements and select the correct option. Statement number 1. Low temperature destroys enzymes by causing their denaturation. This is the incorrect statement. Rather, low temperature preserves the enzyme in their inactive state. Now, see the statement number 2. High temperature preserves the enzyme in their inactive state. This is also incorrect. Rather, high temperature destroys enzyme by causing their denaturation. So here both statements are incorrect. So mark D as a correct answer. Question 11. Look at the diagram. Which point on the diagram represents the point at which the transition state exists? When substrate binds with active site of enzyme, a new complex is formed. This complex formation is a transient phenomenon and state is called transition state. In the diagram, point B represents the transition state. So mark B as a correct answer. Question number 12. The transition state structure of the substrate formed during an enzyme reaction is, it is option D. It is transient and is unstable. Soon after the expected bond breaking or making is completed, the product is released from the active site. So the transition state structure is transient and is unstable. So mark D as a correct answer. Question 13. Which one of the following statements is correct with reference to enzyme? Holoenzyme is complete and catalytically active enzyme consisting of a protein part called apoenzyme together with its bound coenzyme. Coenzymes are organic compounds and their association with apoenzyme is only transient, usually occurring during the course of catalysis. So here mark C as a correct answer. Holoenzyme is equal to apoenzyme plus coenzyme. Question 14. Identify the basic amino acids from the following. Among the given amino acids, lysine is basic in nature. So here mark D as a correct answer. Question 15. The two functional groups characteristics of sugars are, in sugars, two functional groups are carbonyl and hydroxyl. See these two groups in the hint given. So mark C as a correct answer. Question 16. The most important form of energy currency in living system is the bond energy in a chemical called. The energy currency in the cell is in the form of ATP or adenosine triphosphate. So mark A as a correct answer. Question 17. Which enables glucose transport into cell? GLUT stands for glucose transporter. Here GLUT4 is an insulin regulated glucose transporter and found primarily in adipose tissue and striated muscles. So here mark A as a correct answer. Question 18. Dash is most abundant protein in animal world and dash is most abundant protein in the whole biosphere. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the animal world and rubisco is the most abundant protein in the whole biosphere. The full form of rubisco is ribulose biphosphate carboxylase oxygenase. So here mark A as a correct answer. Question 19. A typical fat molecule is made of 1 glycerol molecule and 3 fatty acids molecule. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 20. Given below is the diagrammatic representation of one of the categories of small molecular weight organic compounds in the living tissue. Identify the category shown and one blank component X. The given representation is of a nucleoside where ribose sugar is present with X attached to it, and here X as per option given is uracil found in RNA. So here mark A as a correct answer. Question 21. Which one of the following structural formula of two organic compounds is correctly identified along with its related function? The formula A is of lecithin, which is a component of cell membrane, and formula B is of adenine, which is a purine base. So here correct answer is C, A, lecithin, a component of cell membrane. So mark C as a correct answer. Question 22. The figure shows a hypothetical tetrapeptide portion of a protein with parts labeled A, B, C and D. Which one of the following option is correct? In the figure, A is serine, B is cysteine, C is tyrosine and D is a glutamic acid, which is an acidic amino acid. So here option B is the correct answer. D is the acidic amino acid, glutamic acid. So mark B as a correct answer. Question 23. Which bonds are indicated by X and Y in the given diagram? The bond between phosphate group of one sugar and hydroxyl group of another sugar is ester bond, and as there is one such bond on either side, so X is a phosphodiester bond. And Y is hydrogen bond which join two bases together present on two strands of DNA. Here adenine joined with thymine by 2 hydrogen bonds and cytosine joined with guanine by 3 hydrogen bonds. So correct option is B. X is phosphodiester bond and Y is hydrogen bond. Question 24. Concanavalin A is originally it is extracted from jack bean, which is a secondary metabolite, and its example is lectin. It has the property to agglutinate red blood cells. So here correct answer is C. Concanavalin A is lectin. So mark C as a correct answer. Question 25. DNA is a right-handed helix first described by Watson and Crick and has 10 base pairs per turn. So here correct answer is C. Mark C. A DNA is right-handed with 10 base pair per turn. Question 26. An example of aromatic amino acid is, it is tyrosine, which is an aromatic amino acid. So here mark A as a correct answer. 27. Identify the substances having glycosidic bond and peptide bond respectively in their structure. Glycosidic bonds are present in a polysaccharide which joins one monosaccharide with other, while peptide bond is a bond formed between two amino acids in a polypeptide or protein. Here, out of given 4 options, option D is correct, where inulin is a polysaccharide with glycosidic bonds and insulin is a protein with peptide bonds. So here mark D as a correct answer. Question 28. The chitinous exoskeleton of arthropods is formed by polymerization of. Chitin is a complex polysaccharide formed by polymerization of N-acetyl glucosamine. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 29. Arachidonic acid and palmitic acids have how many carbons in each of them? Arachidonic acid and palmitic acids are fatty acids having 20 and 16 carbons respectively. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 30. Refer to the given figures A, B, C and D. What kinds of structures of proteins are shown in the above figures? In the figure where structures of proteins are shown, A is primary structure of protein, where a chain of amino acid is formed and it looks like a thread. D is the secondary structure, where thread is folded like a helix. C C is the tertiary structure, where in addition the long protein chain is folded upon itself like a hollow woolen ball, which gives three-dimensional view to the protein. Now, check the B structure. B is quaternary structure, where more than one polypeptide or subunits assembled together. So, correct answer is option C. A. Primary, B. Quaternary, C. Tertiary, and D. Secondary structures of protein are shown in the given figure. Question 31. Which one of the given graph shows the effect of pH on the velocity of a typical enzymatic reaction? Graph C is showing the effect of pH on the velocity of a typical enzymatic reaction, where the activity of enzyme is highest at a particular point at a particular pH, which is called as optimum pH, and activity declines both below and above this value. So here mark C as a correct answer. Question 32. What Km stands for in the given graph? Option C is correct. Km is the concentration of substrate at which the reaction attains half of its maximum velocity. So, mark C as a correct answer. Question 33. Inhibition of succinate dehydrogenase by malonate is an example of. Option B. It is an example of competitive inhibition. Succinate dehydrogenase enzyme is inhibited by malonate, which closely resembles the substrate succinate in structure, and due to close similarity, the malonate binds with enzyme. Consequently, the substrate succinate cannot bind, and thus the malonate act as an inhibitor. So here mark B as a correct answer. Question 34. Enzymes that catalyze removal of groups from substrate by mechanism other than hydrolysis and addition of groups to double bonds are called. Option C. They are called as lyases. Lyases remove the groups from substrate. As a result, double bonds are formed. So, mark C as a correct answer. Next section is assertion-reason type questions. Question number 35. Assertion statement. Amino acids are alpha amino acids. This is the correct statement. See the reason statement. Amino acids are organic compounds containing an amino group and an acidic group as substituents on the alpha carbon, or you can say on the same carbon, which is alpha carbon. That is why they are called as alpha amino acids. So here reason is also true and is correct explanation of assertion. So mark A as a correct answer. Question 36. Assertion. The heterocyclic compounds in nucleic acid are the nitrogenous bases. Correct. This is the true statement. Nitrogenous bases are present in nucleic acids which are heterocyclic compounds. Now see the reason. Adenine and guanine are substituted pyrimidines, while uracil, cytosine and thymine are substituted purines. This is the wrong statement. Adenine and guanine bases are purine, while uracil, cytosine and thymine are pyrimidine bases. So here mark C as a correct answer. Assertion is true but reason is false. Question 37. Assertion statement. The association of coenzyme with apoenzyme is enduring. This is the false statement. The association of coenzyme with apoenzyme is transient. Usually it occurs during the course of catalysis. So it is the wrong statement. Now see the reason. Coenzyme nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide NAD and NADP contain a vitamin. This is the true statement. NAD and NADP contain the vitamin niacin. So here correct option is D. Assertion statement is false, but reason statement is true. Question 38. Each enzyme has a substrate binding site in its molecule, which forms highly reactive enzyme substrate complex. This is the true statement. When enzyme binds with substrate, a transient complex is formed called enzyme substrate complex. Now see the reason. The enzyme substrate complex is long lived and dissociates into its product and unchanged enzyme. This is the false statement. The enzyme substrate complex is short lived and dissociates to product and unchanged enzyme. So here mark C as a correct answer. Here A is true but R is false. Question 39. Assertion statement. All enzymes are not proteins. This is the correct statement. See the reason. RNA molecules that possess catalytic activity are called ribozyme. This is also true and correct explanation of assertion. RNA is a nucleic acid. It is not a protein, which also possess catalytic activity and behave like enzymes and are called as ribozyme. So all enzymes are not proteins. So here mark A as a correct answer. A and R are true and R is the correct explanation of A. Question 40. Assertion statement. Living organisms have more nitrogen and oxygen per unit mass than inanimate objects like earth crust. This is the correct statement. See the reason. Living organisms have more calcium, magnesium, sodium in them than inanimate objects. This is the false statement. After performing analysis, it was found that all living and non-living systems are made up of same chemicals like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and several others. But most living organisms have high amount of carbon and hydrogen than in earth crust. So here mark C as a correct answer. A is true but R is false. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for staying with me. Subscribe the channel to get the information about my new video. Thank you so much.